everyone, we just got back from the 3-day Disney Dream Cruise cruising out of Fort Lauderdale.
As you can see, it's a beautiful ship. Let's start out by talking about Embarkation. I would recommend not getting there any earlier than your scheduled departure time because you'll just be sitting in this waiting room. Disney does not let people on early.
And after a bit of a line to get on the boat, you finally get your warm welcome as they announce your name and everybody claps as you come in. So that is a pretty cool way to start off the cruise. Immediately, we also had some character meetups as well where you got to take pictures. For the muster drill, this is not like other cruises where you have a simple check-in process. This is a mandatory safety demonstration where you're standing shoulder to shoulder with people for about 20 minutes. Not my favorite thing.
After all that mustering, we sure worked up an appetite and went up to Cabanas to get some food. Now, there is always going to be a hard time finding tables here, so you kind of have to stalk people and stand over them to get a table. We're going to show you all the menus that we've went through the whole cruise right now. So if you don't want to see all that, skip forward to 2 minutes and 52 seconds. Otherwise, enjoy.
So going into more detail about the evening dining, it was definitely a really luxurious experience, great service, variety and all of that. But we aren't really meat and potatoes type of people, so a lot of the things on the menu we didn't really want, pork chops, steak, chicken, things like that. I was surprised that there weren't so many seafood options that I was expecting, so shrimp and fish and things like that. But most nights I found something that was good and I had an enjoyable meal. And what about you?
Yeah, I'm mostly plant-based, and other cruises have a lot of Indian options and Asian options, and just really tasty food that I've never tried before. And they didn't have much of that here. It was very, very kind of basic food. I thought the breakfast was okay, but again, very basic breakfast food. So I don't know what you think about breakfast.
Yeah, I'm not a breakfast person too much, but it was good. You have a choice to eat at Cabanas or to eat from this menu here, which is like a sit down breakfast. So that was pretty nice. Yeah.
Yeah. And then all the staff was pretty friendly. The atmosphere was really nice. I mean, I thought the themes were cool and how you rotate dining rooms every night. I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, for sure. The Royal Palace is probably the most luxurious one of all. So that was a really beautiful night to eat there. But yeah, when we're comparing to other cruises, it's just there's some different options that we were kind of expecting that we didn't necessarily have.
So Disney does not have a traditional drink package, but they do have beer packages, which also include a cooler that you can take home with you, which is pretty decent value. So, if you're spending $112 on 12 beers, but it includes a cooler, it's not bad. You can bring it with you on port days or shore excursions, which is also nice.
Getting into entertainment, which is really where Disney shines, starting with this sail away party. Also, our daughter loved meeting all these great characters, all our favorite characters. When it comes to adult entertainment, there weren't that many options. We did trivia a couple times and had fun with that, but there wasn't too much of that.
We really enjoyed the pool and the aqueduct. That was a really fun experience. The pool is pretty lively. I would recommend maybe going during a port day where it's not too crowded. As you can see, there's always open chairs there, which is nice.
The aqueduct is a really fun roller coaster that's on the ship. The wait is usually less than 10 minutes, so that's fun. Our 3-year-old, we were worried she was going to be scared on there, but she really had a blast, so that was a fun thing as well.
I think the height requirement is 42 inches for your little ones, just FYI.
And getting into the shows, this was my absolute favorite part about the ship because these were Broadway quality shows, amazing entertainers and talent going on. We had the best time with the shows.
Yeah, very Broadway production-esque. One of the funnest parts was Pirate Night. We got to dress up and all the kids love it, and the Disney characters put on a big show with lights and your magic band gets going off and going crazy. Pretty fun stuff.
Yeah, and I would recommend bringing your pirate outfit, going all in, because everyone does. Some people go really hard with their costumes. So this was a super fun night. As you can see, we got Captain Hook and the whole team. Another thing where you want to get there early for this show on the deck if that's something that's really important for you to see.
Yeah, if you want to see the second show, which is the later show after dinner, then it has Jack Sparrow, falling down. And it also has fireworks, so you want to watch that from the higher deck up, and so you can see the fireworks and not be obstructed. So the fitness center was pretty nice. I think that they had pretty much every piece of equipment that you would want in your standard gym. We didn't see that many people in here. It was pretty empty most of the time.
Yeah, and there's a spa behind there as well that has some great things for the adults. It's really relaxing in the spa area. Even the items that are free, like a sauna in the dressing room for men and women.
Yeah, they also have classes you can take as well, like yoga and spin classes if you're into that. One of the things that Disney had that a lot of ships don't have is outlets on both sides of the bed, which I think is really convenient and thoughtful.
And getting into the Wi-Fi, staying connected on the boat, the Wi-Fi was pretty slow. You can see here it's about 2 megabits per second, which shocking. The cost of that is about $26 a day per device, and this is for the slower internet. There is a faster internet that you can purchase for $42, but I'm not sure how fast that is.
There are some pretty cool adults-only areas if you really want to get away from the kids for a little bit, but the star of the show by far is the Oceaneer Club. That's for kids ages 3 to 10, and our daughter had an amazing time in there. They actually have it in the app. They let you know if your kid's ready to come home for some reason, so you can come pick them up and drop them back off later, but there was just so much to explore in here, so many games to play. The counselors were constantly doing games and dancing and all kinds of different things. They can draw or color, or there's so much to play with, and there are like 4 or 5 different themed rooms, which is really cool also. So your kid never really gets bored in here.
Yeah, this is definitely where Disney Cruise stands out because this kids club is absolutely unparalleled. There's nothing like it. Our kid definitely had a blast in there. And another important point is that it's open until midnight, which is different from the other cruises. So you really get to go have fun and let your kid have fun as well.
Your ship may or may not be stopping at Disney's Lookout Key, but if it is, here's a view from the ship. And as you can see, this is a long walk with no covered areas for shade. And so thankfully, Disney has wagons available for free, and they restock them pretty regularly. So it makes it a lot easier to take your kids and your gear all the way down this path. It's about a 12-minute walk, walking about a 3-mile-per-hour pace, which is not that fast, honestly.
And given the tram ride that comes after this and the walk, I would say it's a pretty long trek to the beach compared to the other cruise lines we've been on and compared to Disney's other island, Castaway Cay. Nevertheless, the water was beautiful. It was a wonderful day at the beach, great sand and everything. We did not like the seaweed. That wasn't my favorite part. My kid also did not love the seaweed kind of rolling up against her ankles. But then there was also snorkeling, right?
Yeah, the snorkeling was cool. You really don't need to have fins and snorkel gear because it's so shallow. You can just kind of walk out there with goggles on and just stick your head under the water. As you can see, those people ahead of me are just on the ground just walking. So it's not that far out where the reefs are, which is pretty cool. You can just dunk your head down and look.
Another way that Disney stands out with the kids club is also on the island on Castaway Cay. So that was amazing to be able to drop your kid off there and not feel like you're away from them while they're on the ship and you're on the island. So I really love that. There were also characters there. We got to take a picture with Mickey, and it was a really short line to do so. So that was really great. In conclusion, we had a great time on the Disney Dream. The standouts were really the kids club and the entertainment for sure.
So $1 million question, would you want to go back?
I would say we'd probably opt for a different cruise line like Royal because our enjoyment as adults is really important too. But if this is something that you want to gift to your kids as an experience, that is definitely something we'd recommend.
See you later.
Bye.